It's going.
Jerome.
Shh, we're all listening to Jerome.
Alright, hello everyone. My key concept for AP European History was 3.1, Roman numeral 2. Next slide. Alright, and this key concept mainly focuses on the effects of industrialization on countries during the time, which was between 1814 to 1914. And you would start seeing countries building canals to transport goods that they would be making in factories. And here's some pictures of next slide. And you would also see other forms of transportation, such as railroads. And as you can see in this map over here, we have the first railroads being created in Britain because they were the first to industrialize. And then you would see railways being built in countries such as Germany shortly afterwards, and you would see you wouldn't see railroad systems as much in the eastern parts of Europe and in the southern parts of Europe until later in the century. Next slide, please. Trade agreements. During the time, organizations and countries they would start to form trade agreements so that trading goods across borders wouldn't encounter as many tariffs. And as you can see in this graph, one of the main countries that were trading were Germany, United Kingdom, the two powerhouses. And I have the countries Norway and Sweden on here because next slide, please. Wrong slide. All right. The Zollverein. The Zollverein was a trading organization in Germany, or not Germany, Prussia, and basically they formed to limit the amount of tariffs that Prussia would encounter when goods were coming through different provinces in the country. And essentially they made trade easier for that territory. Next slide. Also, in Prussia, you would see as a result of all of the trade and the Zollverein, Prussia became a larger economic power, and as a result, they developed more railroad systems, and as I mentioned before, they developed their railing systems shortly after Britain did. Next slide. And I showed before in this graph as an example. We see that as a result of improved methods of manufacturing, such as the steam engine, you would see countries such as United Kingdom, Germany, and France creating lots of goods during the time. Next slide. And Friedrich's List national system was an economic theory, well, not an economic theory, but an economic plan for Prussia during the time. The plan was modeled after the American system, which was essentially a plan to decrease tariffs and on imports, decrease tariffs on imports, and make sure the country was producing most of its goods. And the theory, not theory, the plan went on to influence the economic plan of the European Union in the modern day. Here's just a copy of this plan. Next slide. Lack of resources in the southern and eastern parts of Europe was a primary reason why transportation systems and industrialization came to them later than other European countries, such as Britain and Germany. And as you can see, in countries such as Britain and Germany, there's a higher concentration of resources in comparison to parts of Europe, such as southern Italy and the eastern parts of Europe. Next slide. And lack of adequate transportation in the southern and eastern parts of Europe was another reason why they lagged behind countries such as Germany, Britain, and France during the industrial period, because they didn't have as many resources, they didn't have as